Have you ever looked back on your life and realized that the moments right before a major shift were also the moments when everything felt the most unstable? It's almost as if the ground beneath your feet started to shake. Familiar structures cracked, and suddenly nothing felt secure anymore. The pressure intensified, the questions grew louder, and you found yourself wondering if you had misunderstood the direction you were meant to go. In those moments, it's easy to assume something has gone wrong. But often, it's the opposite. That season of disruption is not a sign to walk away. It's an invitation to recognize that something far greater is being prepared for you. When God is positioning you for something beyond what you've known before, He doesn't simply drop it into your hands without transformation. Growth that lasts is never rushed, and blessings that carry weight require strength, wisdom, and endurance to hold them. That is why the process often feels uncomfortable. Things begin to shift. What once fit no longer does. What once felt stable starts to loosen its grip. It's not punishment, and it's not delay. It's preparation. God refines before He reveals. He clears space before He fills it. And He reshapes you before He elevates you. If you're walking through a time where nothing feels certain, where your faith is being stretched and your patience tested, it may be because you are standing closer to a breakthrough than you realize. That inner tension, the sense that something is changing even though you can't yet see it clearly, is often a sign that heaven is at work behind the scenes. Major shifts rarely announce themselves with comfort. They arrive through pressure, through pruning, through moments that force you to decide whether you will trust God or retreat into fear. Life has a way of increasing the resistance right before a new level is unlocked. Just as you feel ready to move forward, obstacles appear. Conflicts rise. Problems you never anticipated suddenly demand your attention. Can feel unfair, overwhelming, and deeply personal. But this is not random. Opposition often intensifies when progress is near. Resistance does not mean you are off course. Many times, it confirms that you are exactly where you are meant to be. The truth is, the enemy does not waste energy on people who pose no threat. If your life carried no purpose, if your future held no impact, there would be no need for such pressure. The struggle itself becomes evidence that something significant is unfolding. The enemy cannot cancel God's plan, but he will try to exhaust you, distract you, and convince you to give up just before the promise comes into view. Doubt becomes louder, discouragement feels heavier, and suddenly quitting seems easier than continuing. That is why discernment is crucial in this season. You may notice relationships changing in ways you never expected. People you trusted may misunderstand you, distance themselves, or even speak against you. Financial strain may appear without warning, forcing you to confront fears about security and survival. Plans you were confident in may unravel, leaving you confused and questioning why things aren't working out the way you hoped. In those moments, it's natural to ask God why this is happening. But a more powerful question is what He is preparing you for. God never allows pressure without purpose. Nothing is wasted in His hands. Just as gold must pass through fire to be purified, and diamonds are formed under extreme pressure, your character is being strengthened through what you're enduring. When a tree is destined to grow tall and strong, its roots must first go deep. The higher the calling, the deeper the foundation must be. Elevation always requires resistance, and growth always demands stretching. This pattern is woven throughout Scripture. Before David stepped into kingship, he endured betrayal, rejection, and the threat of death. Before Joseph rose to authority, he was betrayed by his own brothers and imprisoned unjustly. Before Jesus experienced resurrection, he endured the cross. Breakthrough was preceded by breaking. Glory followed suffering. Purpose emerged from pain. This does not mean God delights in hardship, but it does show that transformation often comes through endurance. The road to destiny is rarely smooth. Fear, doubt, and hardship are often used to make you question whether you are worthy of what God promised. When things start falling apart, it's easy to assume you misunderstood God or imagine the vision He gave you. But remember this: before every breakthrough, there is a breaking point. Before every victory, there is a battle. Before every miracle, there is a moment when the situation looks impossible. That moment is not meant to defeat you. It's meant to reveal who you are becoming. If you feel attacked right now, it's not because you are losing. It's because you are advancing. You are not being tested because you are weak. You are being tested because there is strength within you that you have not fully discovered yet. Greater callings attract greater resistance. Bigger blessings often come with bigger battles. But you were not brought this far to be abandoned now. You were built for this moment, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. There also comes a season when doors you once walked through effortlessly begin to close. Opportunities disappear without explanation. Connections fade. Plans fall apart in ways that leave you stunned. The instinctive response is panic. You start replaying your decisions, wondering what you did wrong, assuming you missed something important. But closed doors are not always rejection. Sometimes they are protection. Sometimes God shuts a door because it leads somewhere that would cost you more than it gives you. When God is preparing to elevate you, He begins to remove what no longer aligns with where you are going. Relationships that would limit your growth are gently, or sometimes abruptly, taken out of your life. Paths that look appealing but would ultimately distract you are blocked. What feels like loss is often redirection. What feels like delay is often divine timing at work. This season is not meant to break you. It is meant to reshape you. You are learning discernment, resilience, and trust on a deeper level. You are being taught how to rely on God rather than on circumstances or people. And even though it may feel lonely or confusing right now, this refining process is making room for something far greater than what you're losing. There are moments when life seems to tighten around you, when situations you poured your heart into suddenly end without explanation. One day the path feels open, and the next it's sealed shut. No warning. No vital dancers. Just silence and a quiet invitation to trust. And that kind of trust is hard, especially when you did everything you knew how to do, when you showed up faithfully, when you believed with your whole heart that things would turn out differently. The pain doesn't come only from the loss itself, but from the confusion of not understanding why it had to happen that way. You might look back at a job you believed was part of your future, something you worked toward, prayed over, imagined growing into, only to watch the opportunity disappear. Or maybe it was a relationship you invested your love, time, and hope into, one you thought would last, but it ended without the closure you needed. Maybe you were building something meaningful, something that felt aligned with who you were becoming, and then, without warning, it collapsed. In those moments, the natural response is to ask why. Why now? Why me? Why after everything I gave? But there is another question that gently shifts your perspective and opens your heart instead of closing it. What if this ending isn't punishment, failure, or loss? What if it's preparation? What if what feels like a closed door is actually making space for something far greater than you could have imagined? Sometimes doors close not because you did something wrong, but because staying would have limited you. There are paths that look promising on the surface but slowly drain your spirit. There are places that feel comfortable but quietly keep you from growing. There are people who smile, encourage you, and walk beside you for a time, yet cannot go with you into the next chapter of your life. Not everyone who enters your story is meant to stay until the end. And when the season changes, what once fit perfectly can begin to feel heavy, restrictive, or out of place. When something ends without explanation, it doesn't mean it lacked value. It simply means its purpose has been fulfilled. Holding on after that point only leaves your hands full, unable to receive what's next. Imagine trying to carry new blessings while clinging tightly to old pain, old attachments, old versions of yourself. There is no room to receive when your grip is already occupied. This is why letting go, as painful as it is, becomes necessary. Not because you're being asked to forget what mattered, but because you're being invited to move forward. When you trust that what's leaving is making space, you stop chasing what has already passed. You stop forcing doors that no longer open. You stop begging people to stay who were never meant to walk with you into your future. Instead, you begin to walk with quiet confidence, knowing that what lies ahead carries more alignment, more peace, and more purpose than what you left behind. There often comes a phase in life where everything looks the same on the outside, yet something deep within you feels unsettled. Your routine hasn't changed. Your surroundings are familiar, The faces around you are the same, but inside, there's a sense of disconnection you can't quite explain. The things that once excited you don't spark the same joy. Conversations feel repetitive or empty. Goals you once chased passionately no longer feel meaningful. It's as if your soul has outgrown the environment you're standing in. That feeling isn't confusion, and it isn't ingratitude. It's awareness. It's the quiet realization that you are no longer who you used to be, and the space you're in no longer matches who you're becoming. This inner restlessness isn't meant to frustrate you. It's meant to prepare you. Growth always begins with discomfort. Before elevation, there is often unease. Before expansion, there is a sense of limitation. When you are being prepared for something greater, you won't be allowed to stay comfortable in places that can't sustain the next version of you. There will be a gentle but persistent stirring within you, reminding you that you were meant for more. Even if you can't yet see what that more looks like, you might try to ignore it, to distract yourself, to convince yourself that everything is fine. But the feeling lingers. It follows you into quiet moments. It surfaces late at night. It sits in your chest, asking you to listen. This inner nudge is not there to scare you. It's there to wake you up. It's an invitation to trust the unfolding process, even when the destination isn't clear. And when this restlessness arises, you always have a choice. You can resist it, cling to what's familiar, and stay in a place that no longer fits. Or you can lean into it, trusting that discomfort is often the doorway to transformation. Along this journey, you may notice people slowly drifting away. Friends who once felt close stop reaching out. Connections that once felt strong begin to weaken. Relationships you assumed would last start to fade. At first, it can feel personal, confusing, and deeply painful. But not every separation is rejection. Some are protection. Some are redirection. Some are simply the natural result of growth. When you are moving into a new season, not everyone can come with you. Some people are aligned with who you were, not who you are becoming. Their role in your life was real and meaningful but temporary. And when that season ends, the separation doesn't mean either of you failed. It simply means the journey is changing direction. Loss will always hurt, even when it's necessary. It's okay to grieve what's ending. It's okay to miss people, places, and versions of life that once felt safe. But don't confuse grief with regret. Just because something is painful to release doesn't mean it was meant to be permanent. Every ending clears space. Every closed door creates room. Every uncomfortable shift is shaping you for what's next. You are not being left behind. You are being guided forward. Even when you don't have all the answers, even when the path feels unclear, there is purpose in the process. Trust that what is unfolding is not random. Trust that what is leaving is making way for something that aligns more deeply with who you are becoming. And trust that one day, when you look back, you will see that every closed door, every restless moment, every unexpected goodbye was part of a greater unfolding that led you exactly where you were meant to be. There comes a moment in life when everything inside you starts asking the same painful question. Why is this happening? What did I do wrong? Why does it feel like doors are closing all at once? Like people are slipping away? Like plans you prayed over are unraveling right in front of you? In those moments, it's easy to believe you're being rejected, forgotten, or punished. But the truth is far gentler and far more powerful than that. What you are experiencing is not rejection at all. It is redirection. It is divine movement. It is God quietly, lovingly clearing the road ahead so you can walk into something that would never fit in the space you were standing before. Sometimes God has to remove what feels familiar because familiarity can keep you stuck. There are people in your life who were comfortable with the version of you that stayed small, the version that doubted, the version that tolerated cycles that drained your spirit. That version felt safe to them because it didn't challenge anything within them. But the person God is shaping you into now carries a different light. That growth makes some people uncomfortable. It exposes what they've avoided healing. It reflects what they're not ready to face. And instead of rising with you, they choose distance. Not because you did something wrong, but because they can't carry the weight of where you're going. Letting go in these seasons can hurt deeply, but it's important to understand this truth. Not everyone who walked with you is meant to walk with you forever. Some people are only equipped for a chapter, not the entire story. Elevation always comes with separation, not as punishment, but as protection. God knows what you are about to step into, and He also knows who can't be trusted with your future. That's why you're being asked not to chase what leaves, not to beg what disconnects, and not to mourn what God Himself is removing. What's ahead of you requires space, clarity, and strength. And God never takes something away without already knowing what He plans to replace it with. As this preparation unfolds, something else begins to happen. You start receiving confirmations that feel too precise to be coincidence. Messages begin repeating themselves in unexpected ways. A conversation you overhear mirrors a prayer you whispered in private. A song plays at just the right moment, speaking exactly what you've been wrestling with inside. A sermon, a sentence, a passing comment lands with unusual weight, as if it was placed directly in your path. These moments are not random. They are divine reassurance. They are God reminding you that you are not imagining the pull you feel and not misreading the direction your heart is being guided toward. Sometimes the confirmation doesn't come loudly. Sometimes it arrives as stillness. You may feel a calm settling over you about a decision that makes no sense to others. While people question you, while circumstances look unstable, there's an unexplainable peace inside you that refuses to leave. That peace is not denial. It is alignment. It is God letting you know He has already gone ahead of you, arranging things you cannot yet see. When logic fails but peace remains, that is often the clearest sign of divine guidance. Then there are moments when God speaks through dreams, sudden clarity, or ideas that seem to drop straight into your spirit. You wake up with a feeling that stays with you all day, or an insight appears that feels inspired rather than forced. These are not distractions or imagination running wild. They are gentle whispers meant to strengthen your trust. God knows that doubt will try to creep in as the breakthrough approaches, so He sends confirmation again and again, not because you're weak, but because what's coming is big and He wants you anchored in faith, not fear. Still, these signs require attention. God is always speaking, but noise can drown out His voice. Distractions, worry, and overthinking can cause you to overlook the very answers you've been praying for. If you ask for direction but ignore the peace, the repetition, and the confirmations He sends, you may miss the doorway opening right in front of you. When clarity arrives, it's an invitation to respond, not just observe. Gratitude matters, but obedience matters too. God's words don't come only to comfort you. They come to prepare you, and preparation often involves testing. When something significant is being formed in your life, your faith will be challenged in ways you didn't expect. Not small inconveniences, but moments that shake you deeply. Plans collapse. Relationships change suddenly. Opportunities slip away just when you thought you were close. It can feel like everything is unraveling at once. And in those moments, fear tries to convince you that you've missed your chance or misunderstood God entirely. But hear this clearly. God is not punishing you. He is refining you. He is removing what cannot go where you're headed. He is strengthening your trust, your endurance, and your discernment. What feels like loss is often release. What feels like delay is often protection. And what feels like confusion is often the final stage before clarity arrives. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared for something that requires a stronger version of you than the one you used to be. Trust the separation. Trust the confirmations. Trust the testing. Because when God is about to place something extraordinary into your hands, He first makes sure your heart, your faith, and your spirit are ready to hold it. What God is doing right now is not meant to keep you stuck where you are. He is preparing to carry you forward into a season you cannot yet fully see. And along the way, He is teaching you something far more valuable than comfort. He is teaching you how to trust Him when the outcome is unclear. Real faith does not live only in moments of ease. Faith is not proven when everything lines up perfectly or when answers come quickly. Faith reveals its true strength in the middle of uncertainty, when nothing looks secure and nothing makes sense. Faith is choosing to believe when the evidence is missing. It is standing steady when logic says it's over, when finances feel stretched beyond reason, when relationships shift, and when the path ahead seems blocked. It is trusting God even when the silence feels heavy and the waiting feels endless. This season is not just about what you are going through. It is about how you respond while you are there. God is watching your posture, not to judge you, but to see whether your trust remains rooted in Him when everything else feels unstable. This is the real test. Will you allow fear to define your choices, or will you remain anchored in the belief that God is still in control? Will you pull back, or will you stay connected even when your heart feels tired? Because the truth is, what you are praying for is not just something to receive. It is something you must be ready to carry. Blessings have weight, and purpose requires strength. God is shaping you into someone who can handle what you have been asking for without being overwhelmed by it. That is why the process matters just as much as the promise. The greater the calling, the deeper the refinement. The bigger the blessing, the more solid your foundation must be. If you feel like you are in the fire right now, it is not because God has forgotten you. It is because He is strengthening you. This is where unshakable faith is formed, not in comfort, but in endurance. Do not quit here. If your faith feels stretched like never before, it is often because breakthrough is closer than you realize. As this preparation unfolds, you may begin to notice something else happening. Opportunities may start appearing when you least expect them. Not ordinary chances, but moments that seem to arrive at exactly the right time, from directions you never considered. After years of effort, silence, rejection, or closed doors, things suddenly begin to move. Doors you stopped knocking on open on their own. Conversations happen that you did not plan. People cross your path who introduce you to possibilities you never imagined for yourself. These moments are not accidents. They are not random luck. They are alignment. God is arranging circumstances in ways only He can, creating openings that match the season you are stepping into. And often, these opportunities will not look the way you expected. They may challenge your comfort zone. They may require you to release something familiar. They may ask you to trust God in a deeper way than ever before. This is where discernment and courage meet. If you stay too focused on how you thought things should unfold, you might overlook what God is placing directly in front of you. The blessing is not only found in the opportunity itself, but in your willingness to say yes when it feels uncertain. These moments often require a leap of faith, a decision to trust God without having all the details, and a readiness to move forward even when the path is not fully clear. God does not simply drop blessings into unprepared hands. He opens doors and waits to see if you will walk through them. He invites you into the next chapter and watches to see whether fear will hold you back or faith will lead you forward. That is why these unexpected openings are confirmation. They are signs that God is active, involved, and intentional about where He is leading you. Everything you have been experiencing, the resistance, the restlessness, the closed doors, the people who drifted away, is not punishment or rejection. It is redirection. You are not being abandoned. You are being positioned. God is removing what cannot go with you so that you can fully receive what is ahead. The obstacles you see today are not proof that things are falling apart. They are often evidence that something greater is coming together. So stand firm in this season. Hold your faith steady even when the process feels uncomfortable. Do not let doubt convince you that God has lost sight of you. He knows exactly what He is doing. When those unexpected opportunities appear, choose trust over fear. Step forward with confidence, knowing that God would not bring you this far just to leave you unprepared. Because when the moment finally arrives, you will realize this was never just about stepping into a blessing. It was about stepping into the purpose and destiny God has been quietly preparing you for all along.